Hey everyone, this is Phreak once again with an audio commentary for Guess Who? WCR.com. Big surprise there. Now, this is an audio commentary, obviously, and it is going over Night Elf versus Orc. And if you saw my earlier commentary, about a month or so ago, at most, I guess, of my Orc vs Human game, you'll see that I'm a big fan of the Firelord. And indeed, I go Firelord in pretty much all my matchups. I was using him in Night Elf and then stopped because the DH owns him. But against Undead, I use him. Against Orc, I use him. Against Human, I use him sometimes. Maybe 30% of the time, something like that. Obviously can't use him on non-Tavern, but on Tavern maps, I don't know. I don't use him all the time, but sometimes I do. It just kind of depends what I feel like doing. So hopefully you guys are at a 1 minute mark at the 1x speed now, from my point of view. Again, this is the NAX Mazer game. I'm pink, the top left, Twisted Meadows. And we're going to unpause this. And this is what happens pretty much when all goes well for the strategy. Then the next game is going to be what happens when it doesn't go so well. And so this is going to be my being a fan of the Firelord game. Game 1, I guess. And here we go. So it's unpause. And I'm going to do my best to talk over it. If I have a... Yeah, anyway, whatever. So, what's going through my mind, etc. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So, you can see I'm doing a standard build. Now, one thing, if you notice my build, my moon was late. And now, one thing I want you guys to realize, and the Korean ghosts don't do this, and really no one else does this, when you build an Ancient of War, you lose 1 food. Right? Your wisp gets taken up by building that Ancient of War. So, by thinking about that, put your moon wall up 1 food later, okay? Send your first wisp to wood. Let it get 10 wood, then build an Ancient of War with him. And then meanwhile, the next wisp that comes out, that makes a moon well. That way you've got 10 wood. And, you know, that wisp isn't going to come back. Once it makes the Ancient of War, it's gone. It's just like when you're doing a Huntress build and you want to build your Ancient of War and your Heart Assault at the same time. Well, you want to put them at the same time so that you've got wisp harvesting wood so you get to that mark faster. If you build Ancient of War, you've got less wood. If you wait till you've got 10 wood, that one wisp now just got you 10 extra wood that it wouldn't have gotten if you just built the Ancient of War really fast. And the thing is that with this build, you know, this works out just fine because you're going to see my arch is going to reach the tavern when it's time to get my hero. Now, this is, I guess, an older version of my build in that I'm actually using a wisp for it. In newer versions you're going to see in the next game, I think, I use an archer for it. Like, I'm going to do the same build, but I'm going to actually send an archer over. Now you can see right here, I pick up the Firelord. Now this is a little bit different from my normal strat. Usually I go Beastmaster Firelord. Now, but we're going to talk about the Firelord for now. You get the lava spawn. And one thing to note about the Firelord is that he really does not have a lot of mana. It also really doesn't matter because lava spawns have a pretty big cooldown. And so by the time the cooldown's done, I roughly have 150 mana again. So not a big deal, but something to think about. He doesn't have a lot of mana, but early on, of course, it doesn't matter because again, when the mana's there, then the cooldown's done and everything, so that's fine. But aside from that, yeah. Anyways, whatever. But in any event, I'm using Firelord because he owns. Now I've got this wisp right here, and he's behind some rocks, so I pull him forward, and I'm like, die noob. Oh darn, I tried. So I'm just gonna like get this wisp owned, and I detonate his hero. Good job, me. I'm a noob. So that wasn't really according to plan. I, wanted to get those 2 wolves, but whatever. Now that I have my 2 lava spawns out, I'm gonna go creep. Now normally I'd creep with 1 and have my archers there, but now I'm really rushing to creeping because the first one's gonna time out really soon, so I better get that started. So I send him in front because he's the lowest timer, and he's gonna dispel by the time I finish this camp anyway. So I might as well have him tank all the damage. I have no sense in losing that capability. I've got a bunch of archers. I keep making moonwells to keep on top of it. Now you notice I'm at an odd food count because I detonated a wisp. Normally it's not something you want to have happen, but in this case it did. And I'm also teching. I'm also bringing a wisp over to expand. Now this is the cool thing, I guess, about this strat, is that when you go mass summons like I am, and you're going to see I'm going to put in a beast as well, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about this game. I have so many units that he has to go Shaman, and since he goes Shaman don't do a lot of damage against archers. It's, very, very small. So, because of that, the only combat unit he has are Grunts, and with Incinerate, Focus Fire, and level 2 Hawk, once I get to it, I can take out Grunts very easily, and, Shaman are pretty useless in terms of being actual troops, so I'm usually in pretty good shape in terms of just a straight fight. You know, I've got an advantage there. Now you can see I'm putting up the Hunter Saw because I want additional lore when I tech, or when I finish teching, I should say. Also, because I'm going to need Huntresses, if nothing else, for some kind of meat. Obviously I need tier 3 for bears, but I can't just mass range the entire game, generally. So, I am going to grab a little bit of moon juice, I think. No, I guess not. I'm actually just going to wait for the mana to summon a lava spawn. Now, it's a little awkward having to wait for, 15 mana to come in, but it's a lot better than having to tank with the Fire Lord. So as you can see, I'm going to rally my archers up. I'm almost there. It's not a big deal, but you can see he's got pretty limited intel. He doesn't regen that fast. But here we go, lava spawn. And let's go creep. So here we go. Now, you can see that rock golem will take a long time to kill, because he's got the 4 armor, whereas Ogre Warriors have less HP, less armor as well. So pretty much by the time you kill 2 Ogre Warriors, you could have killed the rock golem. And I'm not sure which one's really better, limiting the amount of stones he throws or whatever, but just focus the melee ones first because they do the most damage to your troops. And also hiring mercenaries is a big thing. It's very important. Just go ahead and get the troll berserkers, because really you want them to be your main ranged force, because they are a lot more durable than archers. I mean, they've got twice the HP practically. They have also a lot more damage. They have double the damage and less range. Once I get archer range, but you want that. You want Gosu range archers, or sorry, Gosu damage / HP, quote archers unquote. When you're on Twisted Metals or No Wood, once you get past the archer stage, just use berserkers for ranged and use dryads, dots, hunts, whatever for the rest of your army. Now you're gonna see that once I get this level 3. I start to get mercs, and I get my Beastmaster, that's when I attack. Because suddenly I've got a whole crapload of summons that he doesn't. And now look what he has, Look, turn off Fog of War. He's got level 2 wolves, and 2 3 grunts. He's got 3 grunts, he's got 4 grunts now. So he's also dual raxing. He didn't know that I had a Fire Lord, and so he was just trying to overpower me, You can either go for, sorry. You can either go for a sort of shaman grunt strat kind of thing. Shockwave and whatnot to, rely on shockwave, chain lightning, and grunts to kill units, whereas you use the shaman, lightning shield, whatnot, to get rid of summons. Or, you go for a sort of a crunch bolt thing as he's doing, and, really knocking out, all the units just with brute force, and overwhelming the summons, because summons mostly do single target damage, like the lava spawns. And, by the way, Nyx Mazer loves to tower, so I'm owning this guy, his peons. And I'm keeping that in mind. I'm keeping in mind that he's going to tower me at some point. He's probably going to try it again. Because if someone tries to tower, they're going to try it again later on. I'll guarantee you. If you see a peasant stay in your base, they're going to tower with it. So, rally your racks to where that peasant is, because you're probably going to see it again. Now, here we go. You see Aurora Scroll goes off and pauses. Pause it in 3, 2, 1, pause. I'm at 740. Make sure it's paused. I have Chain Lightning running around. Okay. Now, you see that I've got ranged. He's got melee. And, it's not very good for me. He's got, the Shadow Hunter, I believe, with wards, and of course he's got Chain Lightning and what are they called? Wolves. There we go. And I've got a bunch of range. Now, as you can see, I do have those 2 Troll Berserkers with +8 damage, which owns. By the way, that's very good. And I've got a couple of Quill Beasts, no Lava Spawns left, so that's a little bad, but... Now, what I'm trying to do, though, and also what I realized, we've got equal hero levels, and our army sizes are roughly similar. You press F11, we have exactly the same army size, 47 food. I'm not sure how the workers pan out, but again, very close to the same army size. He's also got some Katas coming in. Now, the Katas aren't going to do anything because I don't have anything that's unarmored, so that's not a big deal. Archers actually have more HP against Katas than Huntresses do, so it really does not counter Archers, because they cost so much less, and etc. Anyway, but I've got, my Archers up against Grunts. That's a little scary, because he's got damage type, I have no HP, but I'm realizing, what? I've got Roar, I have Incinerate, and I have a Beastmaster who can continue to summon. He's got a potion on him. I still have a TP if I really need it. I've also got a Ring of Regen on my Firelord so that he'll also die slower. I feel like I'm in pretty good shape, With the Roar especially, I've got so much damage on those Berserkers. 36 to 45? Like, holy crap. That's a lot. 20 shots to kill a Grunt. So, that's cool. Now, what I don't realize, but is probably the reason I win this, or might win this fight, is that, I'm not going to give it away, oh no, yeah, is, the Grunts don't have their cool Berserker Strength thingy. Now I'm going to click his Rex and see if he's getting it or not, and he is, it's halfway there. So, he's going to be getting Super Grunts, but he doesn't have them yet. something you should always do as soon as you hit tier 2 if you can possibly help it. Get the grunt upgrade, because you never know. Because usually that's when you get hit by night elf. So for the orc players, get the grunt upgrade fast, because that's probably when you're going to get hit. It just seems to work out that way, because they're going to attack at a similar pace, etc. Now also you see my timing for the attack. You know, it's sort of like a scouting expedition in that I don't really expect to so much win. We're still paused, by the way. But you see, I'm getting my ancient lore up. You know, I am putting my expansion up, and this is sort of the part where I'm weak. And now you're thinking, well, why would you attack at this point? You know, why would you attack when you're the weakest? Sort of. Really, I don't want to lose my tech buildings. You know, I don't want to get holed up in my base where I have nowhere to run. You know, I don't want to, like, you know, have to teleport to my expansion or something like this and that. You know, I want to allow my expansion to start pulling its weight. You know, I'm just now putting my wisps in. You know, it's pulled a total of 120 gold out of the gold mine. You know, I paid 400 for the tree. You know, I'm paying 300 for the wisps that are going in it. You know, 700 gold down the drain. And if I can, you know, sort of prolong this battle, and even if I TP out, if I can make this whole sort of action last about a minute, I'll have roughly paid for the expansion. So, you know, and also, you know, even if I'm going to lose some forces and, you know, lose a TP, if I can knock out some grunts, maybe I'll scare him from attacking me, because he'll realize that, well, he's going to start building stuff at his base. I'm not going to be able to do much, you know, I'll just kind of go away. And so what I'm sort of trying to do is just, you know, it's a time to attack because he doesn't have to spell. At least he pretty much won't, because I teched fast, you know, and I have some lucky items, as you can see, you know, the potions and the +3 strength on the Beastmaster, and, you know, and the Roar Scroll especially. And so it's a combination. I mean, there's no, you know, one exact value. I just kind of felt that it'd be a good idea. And again, I didn't have any sort of a picture of, you know, what would win this game for me. So I'm sort of playing aimlessly. But sort of the rationale behind it is that I've got a bunch of summons. He has no dispel, probably. Especially because of that first grunt that I saw early on. I know he didn't do a tech build, which probably something I should have said earlier, but I wasn't thinking of it. So I know he doesn't have dispel, or he's just barely got one shaman, which doesn't mean anything. You know, he's going to have a level 1 secondary hero, so not going to do a whole lot of damage to me. And I'm just figuring that I'm in good shape. So we're going to see how this pans out. I spent about 5 minutes talking about this, but sort of letting my tech go up, and just a large combination of factors. It's a good time to just harass if nothing else. And again, I forced a TP off of him. As you saw, he TP'd in, so even if I TP out, that pans out. So it's okay. Here we go. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So you can see instantly focus firing. You can see I've already lost a bunch of archers. He's already also lost a lot of grunts. As you can see, focus fire, bam, just dying incredibly fast. But he's got that lame healing ward, so I'm gonna try to go after it. I do knock it out. And again, focus fire on the grunts. Bam, losing a bunch of archers. I don't care. These troll berserkers are averaging like 70 damage a second. That's so huge, you know, even with that one armor included from the grunts. 70 damage a second. As long as I can sort of save these zerks a little bit. And as you can see, you know, 9 HP, but he gets hit, so you know, I'm trying to save them. And again, you know, he got level 2 off there, and he get 2 and 4, but I'm gonna get level 4 as well. All this stuff, you know, just trying to focus what I can. I'm like, oh sweet, catapults. So like, you know, die catapults. Level 4, level 2, and I'm like, oh crap, it's like TP time. So I TP out, you know, whatever. Save this troll berserker, which is cool. But I mean, let's see what happened to this thing. Oh look, he's got these peons. See, and I knew he was gonna tower, so I instantly had this sort of Beastmaster looking out for that, and I saw the Beastmaster was getting choked up by these peons, so sort of spread them around. I see he's sending 2 more peons in, so I'm going to start coming after that. And now you can see I have a ton of money. Alright, so I'm, you know, putting up a Dryad. Now, Dryads are awesome against Orc. Don't get too many because, you know, they love to get catapults, but Dryads own, they own the, well, both Shaman and these wolves right here. If I had abolished magic, I would own these wolves like no end. They would just like get owned, you know, and unfortunately the catapult got that kill. And now you can see that since he forced me to go away, and he's like, well, I can press him. I've got, you know, summons and stuff. Thing is, he really can't, because I have summons too, and I have better summons because mine are ranged. And as you know, range beats melee. So you can see, you know, my Zerg's getting pretty weak, and you know, he's trying to put this, you know, demolisher catapult or tower push thing. But you know what? My Farlows have replicated once, or sorry, my lava spawns have replicated once. You know, sure, he's got those dire wolves, and I don't have a lot of cash on me right now, and that's really bad. Like I'm macroing pretty badly. I have over 1,000 gold, 300 wood, etc. And I'm microing, so I'm really not able to really spend it. But you know, I'm pumping out archers, pumping out dryads as fast as I can. I've got abolished magic now, and that's gonna be a big deal. But I've got this hawk, and once I hit level 3, hawk was like die catapults, because that's gonna be, if they don't have shaman, That's how you beat Gruntable. You get that Hawk, they die. They can put up wards, and that definitely does do pretty well. But if you can, move around to the back or something, just a way to hit those catapults easily, you're going to be in such good shape. You won't lose. It'll be pretty close to impossible. So now this is sort of the whole thing where you go forward, I go forward, you go forward, I go forward. We're sort of like trading ground. But at this point, you can see I've got a second Nation of Lore going up. I'm getting the bear training, and that's what you have to realize about Metaphors Orc is that hunts, just in general, hunts are becoming less and less good. I'm not sure how, if Blizzard's nerfing them without us knowing, but hunts seem to be working less and less and less and less as the day goes by. Like every time I use hunts, they're like, wow, these units suck. Like I used to be able to never kill hunts. Like hunts are unkillable. I mean, they're fast, they have a ton of hit points, they have really good damage. How am I going to kill a Huntress? And now they're like, wow, hunts die freaking fast. How did I ever, so... it's kind of weird that, hunts aren't as strong as they seem, Don't get too discouraged to see Huntresses if, as whatever player. They're not super, super strong. Now, in any event, I'm hitting back because I realize, I'm in pretty good shape. Now, as you can see, he's not summoning wolves anymore because he knows that I have this Dryad. Oh, wait, just kidding. He's a noob. He tried to kill the Dryad and then summon, but guess what? Abolish owns. See? Now you can see Abolish owns, because now he's got a full, 40 seconds or so before he can summon wolves. Thanks for the 80 EXP or whatever, and you lost 75 mana. Good job. So, always have just 2 Dries. Just 2. That's all you need. Turn off autocast, because otherwise you're gonna dispel, a scroll of speed, which is worthless. Just don't do it, because you're retarded if you do. And, oh look, let's heal my Beastmaster. Possibly, yes, or not, I guess, okay, whatever. Yeah, there you go, heal the Beastmaster. And this is what happens when all goes well, right? I got good positioning, he got some grunts kind of owned, and I got a Roar Scroll, and obviously that's lucky, all went well, as you can see, but that's what you're aiming for with that strat, is summons and ranged, and some kind of a good position, and hitting him before he's got, Shaman really. Maybe you can even force cancellation of a Spirit Lodge. The other thing that actually happened to me, there was a game where all went well, even more so. I was playing, a Kalimdor player, and he easily outplayed me. Early game, he killed 2 or 3 archers. We were on Turtle Rock, right? I'm creeping by the Goblin Merchant. He kills, 3 archers. I run away with, a Beastmaster and 1 archer left. He's got, 4 grunts. He's coming into my base trying to hit me. He's chasing me down. And, he's trying to kill some archers. He kills, 1. I kill a grunt. But I'm I forced him off, and I'm okay, here we go. I run across the map, with a vastly sort of inferior army by probably, 10 foot or so. On the way, I pick up a Fire Lord, rush into his base. His Spirit Lodge is under construction. Kill the Spirit Lodge, and just start focusing down grunts. They just die one after the other, and they just fall and fall and fall. And this guy's level 37, 40 or so. He's a Kalimdor player. He's playing on East or something. I forget. I just owned him really fast, and so that's something that you can think about. It's actually a very good strat. Now we're gonna watch the second game, which is round dot here, and another orc, and this will be a more recent game. This one I watched just a second ago, just to get a better view of it. I started to remember the NAX Major game as I was watching the replay, and then anyway, we're moving on. So we're going again to the 1 minute mark, 1x speed. And we're going to pause there. I'm going to unpause pretty soon. Okay, I'm there. And we're going to watch from my point of view again. Fog of War, whatever, I don't care. And you can see I'm doing this Ancient of War, then Moonwell build, as I talked about before. And let's go ahead and unpause. So let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. This game is much longer. It is not 11 and a half, 12 minutes. It's around 30. Our main gold mines run out. We have level 6+ heroes. 8's ownage. It is quite nice. And it's the sort of thing that I used to lose to as Orc all the time. The sort of thing where you're like, well, all our armies are small, and we've got high-level heroes. This Beastmaster is raping the S out of me. What do I do? And so, you can see sort of what you do when the Orc's winning, but you still got your summon heroes. What you do when you're winning and you got your summon heroes, and sort of how to play safe/risky is kind of, overall how to play this. And, you can see how that's going down. So, you can see I am going to be rallying this, my Ancient of War to the tavern. Gonna constantly queue him up. As you can see, if you click the Ancient of War, you can see my rally point is at the tavern. And, there goes the first archer. And, I should be making a new one, but I'm a noob. I think I, canceled it or something, because I'm retarded. Or...
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Something like that. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. There we go. Finally queued up the next archer, because I'm a total freaking noob. Oh yeah, I lost a wisp to creeps. That was cool. That's what all the ghosties do. Oh, no, I remember. Yeah, I got the moonwell late. I got that moonwell, like, late, because I'm a noob. I always forget to get the moonwell right after the altar, because I usually try to scout right after the altar, and I'm retarded, so I kind of messed up. But, as you can see, now, why I go Beastmaster first as opposed to Firelord the last time? Because I'm thinking, like, look, Beastmaster is melee. How easy will he be to, you know, this guy should die so quickly to, you know, Grunt Focus Fire with Purge. I mean, this guy's not that durable. 650 HP, that's nothing. You know, a Grunt has more HP than that, you know? And so I figure, if I get Purge and Focus, I'm gonna get owned. So, let's go the melee guy first, and then use the range guy to, you know, to come up second, because he's not gonna be tanking, you know, he'll just be in the back lines, you know, he'll be pretty safe. You know, and also, this, you know, getting that level 2 Hawk is extremely important as well, so I was sort of thinking that that would be cool. So, I'm going to creep right now, and you can see I'm going to focus down these noob null wardens, and oh, my opponent is coming to jack me. F you, noob. So, 36 HP, and I leave it T.T. And, yeah, so I kill one of my Quilbies so it doesn't get, like, owned. And, so now I'm pulling out this wisp to detonate wolves, because that's a smart thing to do. So this wisp's going to come across. Anytime you get a chance to detonate 2 wolves, do it. So here we go. Here's this ghostly wisp. You ready for this? You ready? Here we go. Here we go. I see his Farseer. I see his wolves. Detonate. Owned! He resummoned. I'm such a noob. There we go. Miss. Good game. Yeah. So anyway, you can always like do a fake thing and then get his hero, but that's like usually hard to do. So. All right. So now what's happening is I heal up like my archers and my beasts and stuff, and I'm going on to continue creeping. Now he is out creeping me right now. He has more EXP on his hero. He's like level 2, and I'm not. He's gonna get level 3 by the time I'm level 2, and that's one of the things I'm not too good at with this strat is creeping fast. You know, there's people who are able to creep insanely fast and like get all these items and like completely own me on this map. I'm not very good at it. I'm not a great creeper. I never like have been. I'm either like overly cautious or I don't know, but I'm just not a great creeper. But anyway, you can see I get some cool items. Probably some of the better items I could have gotten. I could have probably gotten +1 to all, which probably would have been better for a tome, or you know, EXP of course is the best one, or maybe like plus armor, or you know, some kind of an aura I think would be better. But you know, there's only so much you can do. So still, +6 intelligence means more summons, which is cool. Finish creeping this camp, and that's all good. Yeah, so sorry, actually I just paused for 10 minutes and went to the bathroom and came back. So I'm at 5 minutes right now, so it's just pause for a few seconds and I'm still running. But this is still going on, sorry for that whole thing, but the bathroom called. In any event, I was trying to think about what I'd say. Usually I got off track trying to sing Christmas songs to myself, I'm not sure why. But you can see right there with the archer heal, that's something you want to do. You want to play as fluidly as possible. In that, you know, I just had 2 archers, you know, right-click Moonwell, shift, right-click the Moonwell, shift, right-click the hero portrait, and they would just heal up and come back to me as soon as they wanted to, and I would just simply, you know, use a selection queue or a selection square on the screen just to select my archers, so you know my hotkey 1 wouldn't, you know, interrupt their whole healing thing. But you know, now I'm just creeping along, and now I have a lot of money, and I realize that, but it's so that I can put up tech buildings and expand and get my second hero and stuff. I'm just, you know, so I can do a whole bunch of stuff at once. As you can see, my first huntress is coming out to get my Firelord, and I need a little bit of wood for it, but I'll get that pretty soon. Now again, you can see something that I was talking about a little bit earlier, I think, in that I get, you know, the moon attack, and then I get the sort of dryad armor. Because dryads, I don't care if I increase their damage, because they're not there for the damage. They're there for slow poison, which doesn't upgrade, and abolish magic, which I eventually upgrade. And I don't need to research it yet, because my lores aren't even done yet, but, you know, they're there just for the sole purpose of being cool like that. Sorry, the upgrade is just to make my dryads more durable, because they're easy to kill. They have no armor. They have like 300, 400 something hit points, you know, and that's difficult. So now you can see, smart thing to do, speed scroll and kill archers. You can see, shockwave, chain lightning, bam, killed 1. Now he summons wolves, and I'm like, oh crap, and my hero's in bad shape, so you're gonna have to TP soon probably, kills another archer, but I kill another grunt. And so you can see this, the Spirit Hawk owns. It's very, very good. Now, unfortunately, he's now up in my face, and I lost my Beastmaster because I'm a noob, and I'm losing all my archers now. But I'm going to continue to focus what I can. Now, I see Chieftain should be pretty easy to kill, and as you can see, he is, so he dies. Good game. Go me. Yes, down he goes right there. So now I've got level 2. And that's one of the things you want to do with this sort of summons strat, is that, you know, eventually you'll get down to just having heroes, and heroes are freaking hard to kill. Now, unfortunately, I lose this archer because I'm a noob. No, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But, you know, it's being able to focus stuff down with just your summons and your heroes and the hero abilities you have, and that's how you're going to win with the strat, because the heroes themselves, you know, having a Quibby or something is not super crazy strong, really. Like, what's strong is, like, what am I saying? Holy crap, I forget. Awesome, go me. What's strong is the ability to stay in a fight that's long. You know, once the army's dwindled down, you've got units again, and AoE doesn't do that when you've got no units left. We're at 8 minutes and 3 right now. You know, when you have no units left, you know, if there's like one archer there at full HP, level 2 Chain Lightning's not going to do a whole lot. I mean, it'll weaken it, but it's not going to do as much as, say, a level 2 Spirit, or not, but, you know, a level 2 Raging Bear, you know. That'll do a whole lot more, because that can, you know, bash heroes and all this stuff, you know. Shockwave won't do that. It won't suddenly, like, make a hero get owned. So, that's, you know, one of the cool things. Now, you can see I'm getting Nation 1 as well, because dots are awesome. I realize that all he's got are Grunts and Shaman. And if I can keep his AoE from being too strong, which I have been doing by, like, killing his TC, my towns won't die very easily. You know, they'll be in pretty good shape. I'll keep making them. Fairy Fire owns. I'm going to creep up my fire load a little bit, you know, get him some more EXP, you know, get him to level 3 soon, get him some items as well from this Overseer. Pretty good item I get here, probably a Circlet. Ring Protection, same thing. Same class, I should say. That'll go on the Beast, I assume, just because he's going to be tanking mostly. And, yeah, so that's all good. Now you can see, you know, I've got more dots and everything. Unfortunately, my dots are like running out of mana and stuff, but, you know, whatever. So I've got Abolish Magic now. You can see I've got my 2 Dryads. And I am making more simply because they're magic immune. So unless he gets Kata's, he's not going to be able to kill my Dryads very easily. You can see, you know, 435 HP. I'm not researching army yet. I guess I just don't have money. But eventually I think I know I do eventually. So that'll just be happening. So, but you can see, you know, a lot of my guys have no armor. You know, my units aren't super durable, but it's just having damage output. That's a lot of what Night Elf's about, having damage output. You know, getting rid of the wolves very quickly, and then, you know, having a bunch of damage with Fairy Fire and Incinerate and all that. Very important. You can see I'm also waiting for 150 mana on my Fire Lord. Again, it's a theme that happens in most of my games. I wait for the 150 mana mark. But, you know, more hunts coming out, as they're actually durable enough to tank. Because I saw last fight, really, that I didn't have good meat shield. You see I'm not making any more Dryads. Half that, and I'm taking an eternity for bears. Like, I realized that I didn't have much of a meat shield anymore, and I needed something that would be a meat shield. And so what I did was, you know, make some hunts, and let's see if I'm upgrading armor yet. Yep, I am upgrading. Oh, I'm upgrading moon armor because I realized that I'm using hunts for tanking right now. I've got, you know, 4 or 5 or so, and you know, I realized that I'm going to need some of that. You know, I don't have. And as you can see, by not having used my TP, I've, you know, still got one, which is why I only buy the Scroll of Healing. But having seen that he hasn't made Kata's yet, and he's adding a second rack, so I know he's gonna make Kata's. Here we go. This will be fun right here. Here we go. All right, he's got a lot of units, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. As you can see, Chain Wave. But one of the good things about running backwards is that you can lower the damage of Shockwave. Sweet, Healing Scroll just in time. But he's got so many units coming in right now, and unfortunately I have autocast Abolish, which is retarded because now he's got wolves on. I've got to turn that off because I'm a noob, because it's essentially useless to autocast Abolish magic. But whatever, you know, I'm knocking out units. You can see I've got level 4 Beast now, level 3 Fire Lord, and I'm against 5 and 3, which is kind of rough. But you can see, you know, knock out the grunt right there. Unfortunately got chain purged. But now you can see now that the armies have dwindled down, again it's heroes and Dryads versus units and heroes. And because Dryads are magic immune, he actually got level 3 chain. But, you know, you can see that he is able to kill my heroes because he got purged, but I'm able to kill his units and stuff as well. I'm actually not in super bad shape. Unfortunately, Wand of the Wind is, like, pain. But, like, you know, whatever. I'm just go to. I'm hopefully not going to lose any Dryads, because that would suck. But guess what? Hide. Good game. Oh, Speed Throw. Interesting. Guess what? I just hid. You suck. And my Dryad's now getting owned, because I'm a retard. So, anyway, he's obviously got good hero levels and all that crap. And he's got like a Serrano my Beast, which sucks. But guess what? Now this is inadvertent, but I'm also actually bringing it in, because I realized that I can actually pull my opponent away. As you saw, I had the selection on it. So guess what? My Beastmaster's not going to get owned. So I sort of wait for him to buy dust. Say, okay, he's got dust now, let's run away. So I get purged, so I'm like, okay, well, let's keep running. Got purged again. Crap, still can't run. Come on, you can do it. Chain wave. Okay, never mind, TP. Because I got purged again. But look, I made him waste 3 purges and a chain wave. So, sure, now I have to burn a bunch of moonwells, but, that slows him down a lot. And now that I'm getting all my Ghostly Bear upgrades, I'm in better shape. So I'm gonna, drop this parry apt and start using moonwells, I think. Yes, or, there you go, use the moonwells. And pick that back up. Always drop your hit point items and mana items before you use moonwells. Always, always do it. It's important. So now I've got my 3 Dryads, and I'm not going to make any more unless I lose them. I'm also going to try to refrain from using moonwells on them, too much, because it drains like the moonwells way fast. As you can see, I'm already like almost at nothing. And I'm getting my Firelord back because he died to purge and all that. But really, what I'm trying to do is, I don't want him to have high level chain wave, although he's already kind of getting that. But I just, I want to be able to keep my forces on top. Keep a steady army going. Make sure I've got healing scrolls, especially, because that's extremely important. I'm going to sell some items so I can get a. I forget if it's a TP or second healing scroll. Yeah, it's a second healing scroll. And I'm just going to move on to creep like an expo and stuff, because I realized that what, I'm going to need some more units soon, because at this pace, I lose my army, then I start picking away at his. Eventually Daybreak's going to come. I'm going to lose all that, so. I do need to be. I need some more units. I need also bears, which I'm getting, because bears don't die nearly as quickly to chain wave. Chain wave on a hunt brings it to below half health. Chain wave on a bear, 2/3 health. That's a lot better. 600 HP as opposed to 300. It's a big deal. So anyway, you can see I am moving on, and I'm creeping this expo. You see, I've got 4 and 3 as my levels. Gonna try to get 4/4, 5/4, 5/5 eventually, and just doing what I can here. And creeping out. Amulet of Spell Shield is an awesome drop. I get on my Beastmaster because I figured, what, if he's gonna target the Chain Lightning, he might target it on the first thing he sees, which could be my Beast. So I might be able to stop the entire Chain Lightning. That'd be cool. Also with Shockwave, might be able to stop the entire thing if he targets the Beast. Also, you can see Rejuve on the Huntress. Always Rejuve when you have the chance, because mana regenerates. It's not a big deal to use it. And the Hunts like at full HP right when Rejuve wears off, so pretty nice. So again, I'm matching stats, getting damage and such on the Firelord. It's always good to do, because that means he gets more Incinerate on opponent units, does more damage being ranged, more armor, which is always important on any hero, no matter who you are, Archmage, MK, etc. Always important. And a little bit of damage attack speed, as I said. Good. So now moving on to creep another camp, and this time I'm like, oh sweet, my opponent is over there. Okay, this is bad. So I'm instantly going to. Well, I'm trying to get level 5 on my Beastmaster right now. That's what I'm trying to do right now. You got my Beastmaster up there. Boosted speed's cool. Plus agility is cool, and try to get level 5. Got level 5, but I'm like, my base is dying. This is bad. So guess what I do? I don't have enough time to run over there, so I just group my army sort of around, pick up a TP and a stat. Yeah, just pick up the TP, and here we go. As my Firelord is already out there, works better. And it's town portal time. Go town portal. So I lose all my production buildings, I'm going to lose most of my moonwells. So I don't have any food. But I turn on autocast moonwells, because I don't want to have to try to micro everything around. But here we go. Speed scrolls, I don't care. I do have abolish off at this point. So I quickly just abolish away the Shadow Wolves. You can see those just died. Quickly use a healing scroll, and let's pause in 3, 2, 1, pause. I'm at 16/16. Pause it. It was like a cool catapult damage shockwave on that one hunt. Now, what I'm trying to do is try to find some way to get him to go away. I've got my expansion going up, and that's good that I'm getting my expansion going up, because otherwise I'd be helpless if I ended up losing here. This at least gives me a chance if I end up losing. But now what I'm trying to do is find some things that are weak. Now I see this Torn Chieftain in bad shape. He's got a half health. He's got mana. And I'm like, I could probably kill him. You know, I've got, you know, level 5 beast, level 4 on the fireless. I've got level 2 incinerate and stuff. I've got bears with throw on them. So let's see what happens. So we're gonna, you know, I'm finding something that I can kill. I need to focus fire because I figure he's got a better army than me. I can't make any more units. So if he keeps reinforcements coming in, I'm in really bad shape. So I need a way to, you know, really pick up his units fast. And luckily I have that with a bunch of bears and drieds and stuff. So we're gonna see how this turns out. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. So you can see focus down on the Torrent Chieftain. Torrent Chieftain going down very low, below 200 HP, but guess what? I'm a noob. So I'm like, alright, fine. I can't kill him. I'm going to get rid of catapults, because those are the second most important targets. They have no HP. They're very damaging. Let's get rid of that. But guess what? As always, my Firelord is dying. The Firelord is not very strong in terms of hit points. It's about as tough as an Archmage. So he goes down. But, you know, I've still got Roared Bears, which own, so I'm going to continue to use them as best I can. Fairy Fire off on most of his units, always important as well. He puts out the Shockwave, which sucks, but I'm like, okay, your TC needs to die. He really does. So Beastmaster following him, hits him once, down he goes to a Huntress. So okay, I'm like, good. And now I'm left with, you know, and now this is what happens again. I'm left with a summoning hero and Dryads versus an army. I'm like, okay, well this is bad, but I need to do what I can. You know, I'm going to focus down whatever weak units he has. He's focused on the Grunt. I've got a Huntress that's going to die, which is too bad, but, you know, Beastmaster in there. Beastmaster's not going to die very easily. Even if he's got Purge, I have boots of speed, so I'm not too worried. Also, you can see just how fast Shaman die. Just how quickly those got owned. Now, unfortunately, he's got those lame Shadow Wolves, but guess what? Dispel. Owned. Good game. Dispel again. Good game. So, Wolves are free experience at this point. He tries to Purge or Chain Lightning, I guess. And my Immortal Spell Shield owns him. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose a Dryad here. But, again, I get to focus the Farseer down a little bit, do some damage, it's all good. Hawks in there doing some damage. But you can see just how much Summon Heroes own. And at this point, I'm realizing, look, I can't use archers or hunts anymore. They're just not useful. What I need is freaking bears. That's exactly what I need. Now, I was worried about a Chain Lightning. I didn't want to get owned. So I ate the potion just in case. I did not want to lose my beast. I mean, 150 gold, or giving him level 8 and spending 500 on my hero. I'll take the you know, safe 150 gold, because I have an expansion going up. I'll be okay. You know, luckily I looked at my expansion soon enough to be able to build wisps before the battle was over. So that was good. And you know, now I am
your building is complete.
Putting up Ancients of the Lore. Now, as I said, archers and hunts are not going to be useful. Once you get to a certain point in the game, you have to use tier 3 units. Because, I mean, once Chain Lightning and Shockwave gets up that high, that's all you've got. You have to use bears. You have to. Because, you know, they're just going to own you with, like, Lightning Shielded Grunts and Chain Wave on your tier 1 units, you know. Dryads die to catapults, you can't rely on lots of those. Air is strong, but I lost my Ancient of Wind. I didn't want to have to, you know, build the Ancient of Wind, then build, you know, my other stuff. I wanted to just build 2 buildings and start making units for them, because I was afraid of another rush. Because, I mean, you know, he saved his hero, you know, he killed mine, so, you know, we both just had, you know, 1 hero, eventually 2, once we both revived ours. You know, and as I can see, he's also got his TC. And now I'm scouting for expansions, you know. Set the Spirit Hawk over to the 1. I see there's nothing there. Okay. Let's move on. And it's Rejuve time. Go over Rejuve. Alright. And form up the bear. So you can so you can see I'm making more Moonwells. I'm making sure I have enough wood, because, you know, bears cost 80 wood, which is pretty hefty. It's a pretty big cost. They cost more. They have a bigger wood to gold ratio than Huntresses do. So by the time you're reaching tier 2 and 3, you're going to need more wisps, because, you know, the Ancient Lore themselves take up wood wisps. Ancient Lore themselves cost a lot of wood. And, you know, the Tekken costs a lot of wood, and the Moonwells cost a lot of wood. You're going to need more wisps as the game goes on. You're probably going to lose some randomly, you know, whether they're scouts or whatever as well. So, you know, make sure you have enough wisps at, you know, any point in the game. Because if without them, you can be caught in some really bad situations. So, yeah. So, Ancients of the Lore are good. And you can see I'm adding a 3rd one, because I've got my expansion up now. My main base, now it is actually running out of gold, which, you know, kind of bad, but, you know, I had plenty of gold. I do have pretty much plenty of gold, you know, I have quite a lot. However, I don't have Gosu tree upgrade, but, you know, whatever. But, you know, I have the gold, so I buy TP and healing scroll. Always have a healing scroll, always have a TP. Always. And a healing scroll on the Firelord as well. I should get invulnerability push on the Firelord. That's bad on my part. However, you can still purge through the invulnerability, so it's not like instant great item. I mean, it'll save you for 7 seconds, but if you're gonna die, you're gonna die. No, that was probably a wolf. I missed it the first time watching this game. Missed it this time as well. Probably a wolf that I killed. But you know, at this point, he's looking for expansion. He doesn't know where I expanded, and that's why I expanded where I did. Whenever you expand, especially versus Orc, because they are known for hitting your expansion with catapults and TPing out. They are known for that. They will always do that. They'll you know, shockwave healing. They'll shockwave the wisps that are repairing. They will always, you know, do that. Always. So always put it in a spot that's not well known. Always carry a TP so that you have a chance of forcing your opponent away before you can kill it, or at least, you know, inducing some hefty losses, whatever you want to say. Always have that. Now, you can see that I realized, well, you know, I've got an expansion going strong, so I should be okay. You can see catapults just own that Dryad. But here we go. He unfortunately pushed away the Hawk, so I can't see those wolves anymore very easily, but, you know what, dispel them as quickly as I can anyway. As you can see, I got my Firelord in a horrible position, so I'm going to have to healing scroll and pull him back. He's still going to get owned, but, you know, doing what I can. Now, put off the roar. Didn't really need to do that, but did. And you can see my army sort of dying. Let's pause again. Pause in 3, 2, 1, pause. Again, I'm pausing every battle, every big battle. And now what I'm trying to do, obviously, get rid of those wolves, because those wolves freaking hurt. I mean, 21, 22 damage, very fast attack speed, critical strike, meaning they do actually more like 30 average damage, which is, you know, about as much as my bears. Consider they attack faster than my bears. They have insane damage. Those things are insanely damaging. It's their attack speed, you know. You think, well, 21, 22 is not that much. I mean, a standard grunt does more than that, you know. Look at his grunts, 21, 24. But it's the attack speed, fast versus very fast, critical strike versus not critical strike. Those are insanely good. Always focus wolves as fast as you can. You know, if you make him resummon, that means there's less chain lightnings that he gets to cast. It's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. Now, so I'm worrying about abolishing as soon as I can. You can see I still have mana to do that again. And I am going to go for that Shadow Wolf. And unfortunately I don't have any more healing scrolls, so you can see all my guys are yellow or orange or whatever. So I've already popped those, but I mean, he's down to just a few grunts left. He's done, you know, with catapults. I mean, he's still got 2 heroes, and they all have mana, and he's on a shaman, so you know, it looks like my army's, you know, inferior. He can kill my bears pretty soon. But my heroes are freaking strong, and you're going to see that. You're going to see just how good my heroes really are. That +2 ring of protection is very nice in the Beastmaster. Let's see what happens. Let's unpause in 3, 2, 1, pause. Unpause, yeah. Here we go. I'm fighting off, doing what I can. You can see he's purging so that I can't get my bears away very easily. You can see I abolished away that that guy. Get level 7 on the beast. I should pull away my Dryads right now because they're about to die, but they die, so I'm a noob. But guess what? What I'm trying to do now is get rid of those shamans so I can use my summons, because these guys are strong. Raging Quillbeast, infinitely better than a wolf. Oh, and Spirit Hawk, infinitely better than a wolf. So these guys are like just dying. Now, unfortunately, I'm retarded with that Druid of the Claw, and he's going to get owned. I didn't mean for that to happen, but, you know, it did. Usually you rejuve then bear form so that you have a large influx of hit points. Hopefully you live. Didn't happen this time, obviously, but, you know, that's what you aim for. So now I'm trying to get that thing to frenzy up, and it does. And so, you know, focusing down everything that I can. Trying to save my Beastmaster. Not doing too well for that, but I quickly TP. I don't want to lose anything. But you can see how quickly I can kill grunts with all this. And I almost got that next grunt right there, and actually managed to kill it. Except that it dies to catapults, because I'm a noob, but, you know. Still. So you can see that I got the Nature's Blessing before I upgrade the Tree of Eternity. It matters. It walks 2-3 times as fast. For 150 gold, you're going to save more than 15 seconds. Like, you get 10 gold a second with 5 on gold, okay? 10 gold a second. So, if the trip's going to be longer than 15 seconds, or, you know, if the trip's going to be, like, really any length, no matter where it is, even if you're going from, like, your main tree expansion on, you know, 2 rivers, or a plunder or something, it's still worth it to get Nature's Blessing. It matters. It matters a lot. Always get Nature's Blessing before you uproot. It'll save you a lot of time. It does 3 things. This is something I was thinking about last night, really. I was thinking of doing commentary, and, you know, what I'd say about Nature's Blessing. It does 3 things. 1, saves you time so that you ultimately get more money. 2, makes all your buildings more durable, so that in the case of, now you're stuck, trying to save your base and whatnot, your inches of lore or whatever, they're going to live longer, because sometimes what people will do when, people are running out of money, they'll create production buildings so that you have to pay for the production buildings, then for the units, which, may not be useful. Maybe you'll just decide to go, screw it, I'm going hero craft, and not try to rebuild the lores. That's something. Third, it actually makes the expansion on its way much more durable, which means that you have a higher probability of actually getting to the expansion and being able to use it. Like, adding that 5 armor is a big deal, especially with the Tree of Eternity. You know how much effective hit points that adds? You're adding 30% of 2,000. That's like 600 effective hit points, That means that's 30 grunt swings. That's a freaking lot. 30 grunt swings extra. Okay, that'll take a long time to knock that out. And that means your repairing is more efficient, because it's repairing off of total HP, not effective HP. And it's such a good upgrade. I mean, sure, it costs a lot of wood, but look how much wood I have, so whatever. You can see that I'm getting my more upgrades, and I'm getting upgrades kind of sparingly, because I need units first and foremost, and I need, items first and foremost. TP and healing scroll always. But as you can see, I need to get some wisps on my next gold mine, so you can see I'm sending 5 over. They'll get there about the right time. Maybe they'll be a little late, but it's whatever. I'll lose like 2 seconds. I think I'll live. 20 gold's not going to kill me. Besides, I have an expansion. So, wisps coming in, and there we go. Not too bad. I lost maybe 20, 30 gold. Oh well. But I finally pick up the invulnerability and the healing scroll, so that my father does not get owned. And now here we go. So now I realize what he's sort of doing over here. And Spirit Hawk owns. Spirit Hawk gets rid of Demolishers. He doesn't have any Shaman anymore. Good game demos. I mean, this is like borderline abuse. It really is kind of abuse. Now he's got the 2 armor upgrades, which is sweet for him, because then that way he loses his catapults a lot slower. But here we go. This is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus. I'm trying to make him say GG. Now I'm getting the sort of picture of what I'm going to do to make him leave. You kill his heroes. I mean, he's got a bit of a chance with the AOE, Shockwave, Endurance, Wolves, all that, But if I can keep abolishing Wolves, that frustrates him. If I got units that just don't die to Shockwave, or I can pop a healing scroll like that, that frustrates him because he can't kill anything. If I can just pick up his grunts without him killing anything, that frustrates him. If I can, especially once I kill his hero, that's going to frustrate him, and that's going to make him say GG. Quickly, abolish all that. Oh, that's useless. My Beastmaster level 7, killing all the grunts, he just leaves. Frustrated. No GG means you're frustrated. 27 minutes. 27. You are able to win with your heroes, like the whole Solo Warden concept of, Blink and Shadow Strike Gainus. It's not cool, balanced, or anything, but, that happens. All that kind of stuff. You can win with just a hero if, you get rid of his counters. So, you get rid of the MK and Spellbreakers if you're going Solo Warden, or, it's that stuff like that. You're getting rid of the Shaman in case of Beastmaster. So, or the Raiders in case of a DH. In any event, that is the end of this commentary. I hope this worked out pretty well. So, good. All the pausing, I think, should be useful. I would hope, possibly. Beastmaster Firelord owns. Beastmaster Panda should be good. All that good stuff. So, end of this commentary. Good luck, have fun with your gaming. ETC. Repo pack coming later. More Naughty Fighters. FU. Bye.